started. All right, welcome to the September 12th UX Sync. I thought it would be good to get on the same page about this one, Matthew. I'm not sure if we're saying the same thing and agree on the same thing or not, so I thought it would just be easier to sync on it. And I think this might be easier if I do it like this. I think this is the original proposed designs, was that we would move sort of the status information down into the footer area for auto merge work. What ended up being implemented by the Threat Insights team was sort of just leaving it here, where like it works if you do sort of merge when pipeline succeeds today. And so I guess the question is do we need to go forward with this? And I guess, what does this end up looking like above this maybe line here if we do that? Or are we fine with just, let's leave it like this for now and we can revisit these designs later?
So I don't have a super strong opinion, but I was just and I don't fully understand like all the different states of that widget yet. But if you have a setting, someone hits the button to auto merge and that is set, then that information is gonna be visible unless there's like a failed merge check, right? Like when that thing turns red, it hijacks that section to show you that there's a problem, and you no longer get to see that there's an auto merge. So it like comes and goes, which to me could be a problem, which is why I was saying, like, yes, the screenshot, it seems clear, and the way that, it's a great design, except that it will disappear and reappear at different times depending on the state of the MR, if I understand the merge widget correctly.
Okay. I think you're right. And I had not, it didn't dawn on me that you could have failed checks, even though like there's literally a design that shows failed checks right above it. Like, then what would happen? I guess I hadn't realized that those were the same place. Okay, then I think you're okay. So then I think the answer is we do need to move this text to the footer. In the case of failed checks, I guess the question is like, if there aren't failed checks though, what is the whole, I think that's probably then the missing design piece here, because that white bar acts as like the header for the widget,
Right.
then that feels like a missing design piece if we do take things out.
That's true. Yeah,
and you don't have to have an answer for that today, but I think like,
let me think.
Given what you said, I think you're right. We need to move it. If we move it, I think we're missing one state, and I think that's what we need probably done.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think about that and see if I can come up with a solution there.
Okay. Cool. That helped a lot to just talk for 5 minutes. I don't know if it helped you. It helped me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Ben, did you have anything? I think you came off mute. I wasn't sure if you had a thought and then or not, but
not on that.
Okay. Cool. Oh, there's something else on the agenda. All right. Ben's got number 2 on the agenda. I can type for you if you would like.
Cool. Yeah, just an update from research world. We're still doing the create stage jobs to be done analysis. I know it's been like 6 months, it feels like. We're now at the point where I have surveys written up for all of create to get an opportunity score for all of the outcome statements that we were able to synthesize from the jobs to be done interviews. I know that's a lot of jargon, but basically these are like the jobs, the mini jobs that people want to do and create. And we will, through this survey, be able to get an opportunity score, which gives us a prioritized list of the areas that are most painful to our users, or that are most important and simultaneously least satisfying. Also, I've been asked to do another round of benchmarking, usability benchmarking. So we did the first one in the company a while back. I don't even remember. I guess about a year ago, maybe 2 years. No, I don't know. A while ago. Most of the issues that were brought up there have been addressed in some way or deemed too difficult. So just so everyone's aware, I will be kicking that off again. I'm not sure that I need anything yet, but your participation in looking at the results and coming up with ways to interpret those or filter them into current work streams will be appreciated.
Do you have on the first one for jobs to be done, so you've done all the analysis and now you have to send out surveys? That's correct? Do you have an idea of like when surveys go out and then like how long they're open for? Like when are you expecting to come back and be like, here's the score for all the different things? And do you have, like, it sounds like there's specific opportunities, the right word? Do you have a list of the opportunities, or do we have that somewhere?
They're in the canvases, which were in Mural and are now in FigJam, because we transferred everything from Mural to FigJam. So I will post a link in here to where you can look at them all. There's like 150 across all three job performers in Create. So just for code reviewer, there's maybe like 30 ish. Code author has a lot because their job is more complex. It'll make more sense. So like what an outcome statement might be like, maximize my ability to examine the code in a review for like scalability or something. And so we ask people how important that is and how satisfied they are with their ability to do that currently in GitLab. And so if people think that's really important and they're not satisfied with it, that difference puts it higher on the sort of opportunity to improve this thing list. That makes sense.
Okay.
And for your first question, the survey is ready, but I need to send it out to a small group to pilot first, because it's pretty complex and we want to know if people are actually going to fill it out or not. We're going to offer an incentive. We're breaking it down into 50 questions out of the pool of 150, and offering them $25. So hopefully they'll do it. But I'm hoping that, yeah, we can start to get results in a couple of weeks. If people, cooperate.
Sorry, what did you said a couple weeks? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
I said
yeah. Hopeful that we can probably launch it. If not the end of this week, then the beginning of next week. And then, it'll run for as long as it needs to run. That might be a week, it might be several weeks. I'm hopeful that because of the incentive, we get a better response rate. And we get enough people so that it starts to feel significant. Probably won't be statistically significant because the pool of people is extremely high, and I would like bankrupt GitLab if we actually wanted to offer $25 to each person that uses GitLab.
Okay. And then I'm just like trying to piece out time. When you have like surveys back, is it quick to like calculate opportunity scores? Because it's like a math formula, right? Like it's not like you're doing analysis on like free
No.
text responses. Okay.
No. Yeah, it's quick.
Cool. Okay. I don't have anything else on either of those. Matt?
I just put in 2 prototypes that I've been working on for usability testing. One is for choosing reviewers, and one is for the funky code changes layout that I came up with. So my plan is to put those up on usertesting.com and just get some feedback. They're not done yet, but just kind of FYI, you can check them out.
Do you think it would be helpful to also, I don't know if we do this, or can we send like user testing internally? Is that a thing? Or would we just have to like send the prototype links in like the development channel and then be like, comment in this issue or something, right? Like we can't, if we run them through user testing, we have to pay, I think, right? Would be the
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've used usertesting.com, so I wasn't sure if you could supply your own participants and not pay, or if maybe Ben knows.
You can supply your own participants. I'm not sure how much that reduced, whether that really factors into how much it costs. It's not the same kind of billing model as some other ones where you like pay per participant.
Yeah. So one thing we could do if you want to send it internally is just say, record yourself going through this on a Zoom, just do a Zoom thing by yourself and just record it and send it to us, and kind of just talk your way through it as you're going through it. If you just want to like informally send it to internal people, like we can give them some instructions to just think aloud, do this task, record yourself in Zoom and send it to us.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure a few people will do it. I don't know how many people will do that. We've tried like sort of like, hey, record yourself doing a code review before. I think what I'm nervous about is, I wouldn't say user testing is necessarily the greatest pool of feedback for us.
Right.
For things like this. And
I've heard that before, yeah.
And so I'm worried that like we don't get anything sort of like useful, or like the user testing people are like, it's great, but they don't actually like use our product anyways. And so like, do we learn anything? And so that's why I was thinking like, if we had a low friction internal way to do this, at least it's people who are in the product every day, like guarantees us that they know how to do a code review inside of GitLab. And we'll have like opinions, I think, about it. And whether or not we want that, I don't know. I'm cautious about like the quality that we'll get out of user testing. And I also don't want you to invest like tons of time or money in like moderated studies either. Like I don't know how we strike that balance of like trying to get internal feedback at this early state. And so that's what I was sort of trying to figure out. Like maybe, I don't know if there's ideas for that. That's what I think would be a valuable thing to do.
Yeah.
There's a UX research volunteers Slack channel, which are people that have signed up to be recruited internally for things like this. And what I would do is like post the request there with like a link to the prototype and just like a couple of questions, like as prompts to just sort of make sure they know what to talk to, like what they're actually looking at, what to focus on, and see if you get anyone that way.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't know, maybe have them post their feedback in the issue or somewhere else, wherever it's most useful to you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the idea of having them record it, assuming it's low friction. I think most people are used to like sort of recording themselves at this point. So maybe that's low enough friction if we can like, especially if you time bot, like you're going to spend 15 minutes on it or something, right? Like I think people are willing to sort of do that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. I'll look into that avenue, and I'll also talk to Andy and see if he has any other thoughts around other ways to do it. But I agree that usertesting.com might not be very representative.
And I guess the other would be like, I don't know how early you are in these versus like the other option would be we set up some time with like customers and walk through it. Like we could pull a list of people who have been like in the review rounds, epics or TAMs and CSMs and be like, look, here's sort of what we're looking at for here. Yes, no, but I don't know if we want to go down that bridge. We've gone down that bridge before where we show people like early designs and then they ask when, and then it changes, and then they're, whatever the case is. So I don't know if we're like at a point where we're so confident in these that we would want to do that.
Right. I'm not sure. I have a person. Let me pull up this link here. So
yeah, you've got the one customer that you were gonna chat with, I think. I've seen that thread.
yeah, and I just commented, I think yesterday about because they were wanting to see something, and I think I tagged Andy to see if he had any concerns with showing the customer designs, because yeah, it can open up all kinds of issues if you show them early designs. So I guess what I'm saying is I have customers who I could do that with, but yeah, also not sure if it's a good idea, or not, but I'm open to doing it.
Just give a safe harbor statement for anything. I'm serious. You know what that is? It's like, so it's something that you should do, which is don't make any like purchasing or financial decisions on anything you're about to witness. These designs, we make no promise that they'll ever make it into the product. Purely exploratory, blah, 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 blah. And that's like actually sort of legally covers you.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, let me think about that one for a minute too.
Okay.
Last idea is you could record yourself going through it, like the interaction, and explain it as an easy way of people understanding what it is you're after. That way people can watch that and then sort of like comment on it or go through it themselves. Either way.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing. I know I've seen like bits and pieces, but I'm curious to see like the full prototypes. And I think even if you go like the user testing or internal, it would be good to have a recording of yourself going through it and explaining sort of all that stuff like Ben just mentioned, even if we don't share that like outside of a very small group of us. so we don't like pollute people. But just for my own like, so I don't have to sort of walk through it and hope that I'm interpreting correctly.
Yeah, I can record a walkthrough for it for sure.
Okay. Perfect. Cool. All right. Well, there's nothing else on the agenda. Anyone have anything else? All right. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
See ya.